The Fighter and the Prize. The underground fight arena on Kiron Station was not a place for mercy. The audience didn't come to watch fair fights. They came to see blood. And tonight, Reed Carter gave them what they wanted. He stood in the center of a sand-covered steel ring, breathing hard. His fists were covered in red. His chest rose and fell. Across from him lay his opponent, a horned alien beast twice his size, now knocked out cold. Reed didn't celebrate. He didn't raise his arms or smile at the crowd. He just whispered to himself. "One step closer, Talia." Talia was his little sister. Back on Earth, she lay in a cold medical pod, her condition worsening every day. Doctors said she needed rare nanotech treatment. Treatment Reed couldn't afford. So he fought. Fight by fight. Hit by hit. He sold pain for cash. That was his life now. Above him, loudspeakers boomed. Victor. Human 847, Reed Carter. Fifth. Win this cycle. Cheers. Roars. Bets being paid. Reed walked off the ring, wiping sweat from his face. He passed other fighters, aliens, cyborgs, even a modified insectoid, who looked at him with a mix of respect and fear. He reached the arena, vault where Master Torvek the Fight Master waited. Torvek was tall, wearing gold robes and strange lenses over his eyes. His voice was cold. "You survived." Again. "I want my payout," Reed said. Torvek grinned. "You'll get it. But first, a surprise." Two guards entered. Between them walked a girl, thin, chained, silent, alien. Her skin was light silver blue, almost glowing. Her white hair fell down to her waist. Her ankles and wrists were shackled. Her head remained low. Reed frowned. "What is this?" "A reward," Torvek said. "Not just credits this time. You've earned something rare." Reed crossed his arms. "I don't need rare. I need cash." Torvek stepped closer. "You were chosen for this. The girl was taken from a captured ship 2 cycles ago. No ID, no family, but she's not ordinary." Reed looked at her. "She's a slave?" Torvek smiled. "Not legally, but no one claims her. No one dares. She's yours now. Or if you're smart, you'll sell her." The girl looked up, for the first time. Her eyes were not scared. They were watchful, as if she was reading Reed's soul in silence. He took a breath. "What's her name?" "We don't know," Torvek said. "She hasn't spoken a word since we brought her in. She won't eat, won't sleep. Strange energy readings, too. She burned out a scanner just by breathing near it." Reed felt a cold chill. "Why give her to me?" Torvek shrugged. "Because she reacted to your name." Reed stared. "She flinched when I said it, like she knew you." "Do you?" "No," Reed said, but his voice was unsure. "She's your problem now. If she explodes, don't come running." Reed looked at the girl again. He saw something others didn't. Not weakness, containment. He could feel it. She wasn't helpless. She was holding back. Later, in a dusty old cabin on the edge of the station, Reed sat on a bench. The girl sat across the room, still silent. He gave her a food pack. She didn't touch it. "I didn't ask for you," Reed said, "but I'm not going to hurt you." She didn't reply. He leaned forward. "Do you have a name?" "Nothing." Then finally, in a whisper, "Lysa." Reed blinked. "You do speak." She nodded once. He sat up straighter. "Do you know me?" Another long pause, then, "No, but I saw you in a dream." Reed frowned. "A dream?" "Yes," she said, looking up. "And in the dream, you were burning, and I was the only one who could stop it." Reed felt a shiver run down his back. Lisa stood slowly, her eyes glowing faintly. "I am not a prize," she said. "I am not a gift. They gave me to you, because they didn't know what else to do." Reed stared at her. "What are you?" She looked him in the eyes. "The reason they'll come for both of us." The silent one. Lisa didn't speak again for 2 whole days. She followed Reed like a shadow, quiet, careful, watching everything. She didn't cry, didn't ask questions, didn't sleep. Just sat with her back against the wall, arms around her knees, glowing eyes always half open. Reed Carter wasn't sure what to do with her. He wasn't used to silence. He was a fighter. He was used to pain, shouting, blood. But this girl, this silent alien girl, was something else entirely. He gave her food. She didn't eat. He gave her water. She didn't drink. And every night, when he tried to sleep, he found her sitting near the door as if guarding him. It was strange. She wasn't afraid, she wasn't even lost, she was waiting. But waiting for what? On the 3rd day, Reed went to the trade docks. He had one goal: sell the arena credits and buy a medical transport chip. His sister on Earth didn't have much time. Lisa stayed behind in the cabin. Reed was gone for only 2 hours. When he returned, the cabin door was wide open. He dropped his gear and ran inside. Lisa, no answer. The air inside was cold. Then he heard a sound, faint, like metal breaking. He turned toward the small table near the wall. Lisa sat there, holding a broken scanner, one of the arena's old models. It was sparking. Smoke floated above. What happened? Reed asked. She looked at him. I tried to see what they did to me. Reed blinked. The collar? She touched the small, glowing device around her neck. It wasn't a shock collar, not exactly. But it was alien tech, and it pulsed with red light every few seconds. I wanted to know what's inside me, she said. Her voice was calm, almost too calm. Reed sat down across from her. And did you find out? She nodded. They put something inside, something to keep me weak. It stops my energy from growing. Reed raised an eyebrow. Energy? She looked at him. I'm not just a slave, Reed. I'm a carrier. I was born with a seed of power. It's part of my kind, but it only grows when we bond with others. Reed leaned back. Bond? Like, emotionally? Yes, she said. Through trust, through connection. Reed scratched his head. So, the more we talk, the stronger you get. Not talk, she said, feel. That word stayed in the air like smoke. Reed tried to laugh. Well, I'm not exactly good at feelings. I know, she said. He blinked. What's that supposed to mean? You hide your pain. You speak like a fighter. But your heart screams like someone who's lost too much. He looked away. You're not wrong. A long silence followed. Then, she said, I heard your dream again. Reed turned slowly. What? You dream of fire, of running, of losing someone. Reed stood up, uncomfortable. Stay out of my head. I'm not inside it, she said. It comes out like waves. You burn on the inside, but you won't let it show. He walked to the door. You don't know me. I know pain, she replied. And yours is loud. Later that night, Reed heard a strange sound outside. He peeked through the window. A drone hovered near the cabin roof, silent, black, with a glowing red lens. He cursed under his breath. Lisa, move, now. She didn't ask questions. She followed him out the back door. The drone fired a dart at the front wall. A red symbol appeared, a hunter's mark. Reed stared at it, his heart pounding. That's not arena business, he said. That's bounty, work. Lisa's voice was calm. They know I'm still alive. Reed grabbed her hand. Then we're leaving. They ran through the neon-lit alleys of Lower Chiron Station, past beggars, android vendors, and old soldiers who'd seen too. Reed stopped only when they reached a quiet docking platform. He looked at her. Who sent that drone? She looked him straight in the eyes. The same people who caged me. I will burn this station to find me. Why? He asked. Why you? She answered slowly. Because I'm not just a runaway. I'm a key. To something they tried to bury long ago. Reed's breath caught. And now, she said, you've touched the lock. escape, and awakening. Chiron Station never slept. Its steel walls buzzed with neon lights. Shadows moved between steam vents. Traders, fighters, smugglers, everyone had secrets. Tonight, Reed Carter was one of them. He moved fast, leading Lisa through the dark lower levels. She wore a hood now, but her glowing eyes still shone beneath it. They had only one goal: get off the station before someone caught them. They reached Dock 17, where Reed's old friend Jack ran a repair hangar. Jack was a tall android with rusted joints and a sarcastic voice. "You look like trouble," he said as Reed stepped in. "We need a ship," Reed said. "Small, quiet, fast." Jack looked at Lisa. "That her?" Reed nodded. "We're being hunted." Jack didn't ask questions. He was loyal, even if he didn't understand. "Give me 20 minutes." While Jack worked, Reed and Lisa sat in a storage room. Lisa was quiet, too quiet. Reed looked at her. "You said you're a key. What does that mean?" She hesitated. "It means I open things. Ancient things." Reed frowned. "Like what?" "Gates, weapons, memories." "Memories?" She looked at the floor. "My kind was made to protect knowledge. But when the wars started, people wanted to control us instead." "Wars between who?" "Your kind," she said. "And others." Reed sat forward. "You mean humans?" She nodded. "A long time ago, humans found a hidden system. My people lived there, peaceful, connected to technology through thought. And what happened? You feared what you didn't understand." Reed didn't argue. He'd seen how people treated anything different, even now. They destroyed our cities, stole what they could, caged the rest of us. Reed's voice was soft. "And you?" "I was just a child when they took me. They sealed my power. Kept me weak." Reed looked down at her collar. It still blinked red. "I want to break it," he said. "You can't," she replied. "Not with tools." "Then how?" She looked at him. "With trust." Before Reed could ask more, the hangar lights suddenly shut off, then bang explosion. The outer wall of the hangar blew inward. Flames and smoke filled the air. Reed grabbed Lisa and pulled her back as black-armored mercenaries rushed in. "Target inside." "Do not let the girl escape," Jack yelled from the control booth. "They jammed the exit gates. You're locked. In." Reed looked around. No weapons, no ship, no way out. He turned to Lisa. "Can you do anything?" She looked scared. I don't know." He held her shoulders. "Then you have to try." The mercenaries fired stun rounds. Reed ducked. A blast hit the floor beside them. "Now, Lisa." She stood up, eyes wide, breathing hard. The collar blinked faster. Her voice trembled. "I'm sorry." Then, light, a soft glow filled the room. Her hands lifted. The red lights in the collar turned white, then shattered. The energy inside her broke free, a wave of light and sound. Everything stopped. Time felt slower. Reed watched as the mercenaries were thrown backwards, lifted into the air by invisible force and slammed into the walls. The hangar lights exploded. Doors unlocked. Fire disappeared. Lisa stood in the center, hair floating, body surrounded by shimmering light. Her voice echoed through the room. "I remember now." Reed stood slowly, eyes wide. "What? Are you?" She turned to him, tears in her glowing eyes. Something they should never have chained. Later, the emergency doors opened. Jack limped out, half-burned but alive. "Remind me never to let you borrow a ship again." Reed laughed, still in shock. "She saved us." Jack looked at Lisa. "She also almost crushed my workshop." Lisa stepped forward, calmer now. The light around her had faded, but her eyes still shimmered. "They'll send more," she said. "And next time they'll come in silence." Reed helped her into the ship Jack had prepared. As they lifted off, Reed looked at her. "Can you control it now? Your power?" She shook her head. "No." But I remember who I am. Reed raised an eyebrow. And who is that? She turned to him. I'm not just a key, she said. I'm the last one left who can unlock what they fear most, the hidden truth. The stars outside the ship window blinked slowly as they drifted through deep space. Reed Carter sat at the controls, flying on half fuel, no plan, and too many questions. Beside him sat Lisa, no longer silent, no longer afraid, but still a mystery. She had saved his life, crushed mercenaries with light and force, broken her collar without touching it, and now she sat calmly as if nothing had changed. Reed finally spoke. What do you mean, they fear what you unlock? Lisa didn't look at him. She watched the stars. Then she whispered, Do you know how old your species is, Reed? He shrugged. Earth's been around a while. Not as old as some, though. She turned to face him. Humans are not the newest. You're the forgotten. Reed frowned. What? She nodded. Long ago, your kind reached far. You traveled beyond stars. Some of you stayed, others vanished. My people were born from those who stayed. Reed blinked. Are you saying we're related? In a way, she said. But the truth was erased, covered, buried under wars. Reed leaned forward. By who? Lisa's voice lowered. By those who wanted power to stay in one place. Like the arena masters? No, she said. Much bigger. A council. A shadow group across many species. They hide ancient tech, hide history, and they feared my kind most. Reed looked down. Because of your powers? No, she said. Because of what we remember. Hours later, they landed on a quiet moon called Yalir 3, a hidden place marked on a stolen map from the bounty ship. It was dusty and dark, with broken stone towers reaching into the sky like fingers. This is where it begins, Lisa said. What is this place? She touched a wall gently. It lit up beneath her hand. Old symbols appeared, swirling, glowing. Reed stared. It's a door. Lisa nodded. It was sealed with a voice command. Mine. The door opened with a low hum, revealing a long hallway, filled with floating orbs and glowing crystals. Reed stepped in. This is a memory vault? Yes, Lisa said. A piece of our history. In the center of the room, a round table held a golden cube. Lisa placed her hand on it. Suddenly, light filled the room. A vision appeared. Not just a recording. A living memory. Reed saw it all. Thousands of years ago, humans had explored beyond the galaxy rim. They built colonies using thought-linked technology, cities powered by minds, not machines. But something changed. Some humans feared what others could do. They split. A war began. The peaceful ones hid their bloodlines, spreading across planets. They changed slowly, became the alien species Reed knew today. Lisa's kind was one of them. We were not born as aliens, Lisa said. We were born as you, changed by time and space. Reed stepped back, stunned. So you're human? We all were, she said. But I carry the memories. That's why they want me locked away. Because once people know the truth, they'll ask questions, Reed finished. And the ones in power can't answer. Lisa nodded. If the people knew we were once one, maybe we'd stop fighting each other. Suddenly the vault lights flickered. An alarm pulsed through the room. They found us, Lisa said. Reed drew his blaster. Can we escape? No, she said. But we can give the truth to others. She pointed at the golden cube. It can broadcast through deep space relays. If we get it to the right place, the whole galaxy will see. Reed grabbed it. Then we run. Outside, black ships dropped more bounty troops. Reed fired back as Lisa held the cube close. They reached the ship. Alarms blared. Shots hit the hull. Reed slammed the door shut. Let's go. As they blasted off, Lisa placed the cube into the ship's old navigation slot. The entire system lit up. A hologram spread across the ship. History, memory, truth. Once this plays, Lysa said, they'll know I'm not just a runaway slave. Reed looked at her. What are you then? She smiled. A messenger, and a mistake they should not have made. The betrayal. The stars moved fast as the ship flew through silent space. Reed Carter sat at the controls. His hands were tight on the steering bars. His jaw was clenched. He didn't say much. Lysa sat behind him, holding the golden memory cube. Its glow pulsed gently like a heartbeat. She could feel it. Reed was troubled. You haven't spoken since we left the moon, she said softly. I'm thinking, he replied. She waited. He finally turned his head. If this message goes out, if people learn the truth, you know what happens? Yes, she said. War or peace, nothing in between. Reed looked back at the stars. My sister's on Earth. If they find out I helped you, what if they go after her? Lysa lowered her head. I won't let that happen. Reed's voice grew quieter. You can't stop everyone. Lysa placed her hand on the memory cube. Then I'll stop the right ones. They landed at a neutral spaceport, a lawless outpost called Grey Rock. It was full of traitors, bounty hunters, and people who didn't ask questions. Reed had one plan: sell a few parts from the ship, get more fuel, maybe contact Earth quietly. They needed to keep moving, but something felt wrong. Too many eyes, too many whispers. He didn't say it aloud, but deep down, he knew. Someone had betrayed them. Later, Reed met with a contact, an old fighter named Trask, who claimed he could help them get a safe path to a hidden relay station. We need to send a message, Reed told him. One that changes everything. Trask lit a smoke stick. You sure that's smart? No, Reed said, but it's right. Trask nodded. Give me 2 hours. I'll prep a ship. You and the girl lay low. Back at the dock, Lysa waited inside their ship. She sat near the power core, eyes closed, listening. She could feel something in the air. Heavy, tense. Then, footsteps. Too many. She stood up just as the ship door blasted open. Armed bounty hunters flooded in. One shouted, "Don't move, alien!" She raised her hands. Where is Reed? A tall woman in black armor stepped forward. He sent us. Said you'd come quietly if you thought he was in danger. Lysa's heart stopped. She felt the lie instantly. No, she whispered. Take her, the woman said. They fired stun darts. Lysa dropped to her knees, vision blurring. But before everything went dark, she heard the one word that echoed loudest in her mind. Betrayed. Reed returned an hour later. The ship was empty. The docking crew stared at him. She's gone, one said. Taken by bounty marks. Quiet, fast, like they knew everything. Reed's heart dropped. No, no, no. He ran inside. The memory cube. Gone. Only one thing remained on the floor. A gold coin. From Torvek, the fight master. Reed knew what it meant. Someone paid to have her taken, and Reed knew exactly who had done it. Trask. Reed found Trask in a bar, laughing with a group of mercenaries. Reed walked in and punched him across the face. You sold her out, he shouted. Trask wiped his mouth. She's not your problem, Reed. She's a bomb, and you're dragging everyone into the blast. Reed pulled a blaster. Where did they take her? Trask raised his hands. Station orbit, holding ship, but it's locked, guarded. Reed didn't wait. That night, Reed stole a patrol skimmer and launched toward the orbiting vessel. He had no backup, no plan, but he had something more dangerous. Regret. He reached the holding ship, snuck through the service tunnels, and found the central chamber. There she was, Lysa, strapped to a vertical table. Weak, barely awake. Reed ran to her. I'm sorry, he whispered. I should have never left you alone. Her eyes opened slowly. You came back. I always will. He shot the locks. She fell into his arms. Alarms rang. Guards rushed in. Reed aimed. Lisa lifted her hand. Even weak, her light returned. The entire room pulsed, and time stopped for a second. Then the power burst sent the guards flying. They ran, side by side, back, to the skimmer. As the holding ship burned behind them, Lisa looked at him. "You chose me, even after betrayal." Reed nodded. "They took the cube, but they won't take you." She placed her hand over his heart. "Then we finish this, together." The royal blood, the stolen skimmer, flew through space, silent and fast. Reed Carter sat at the controls, eyes sharp, heart heavy. Behind him, Lisa rested, recovering slowly. Her energy was returning, but the betrayal still lingered in her eyes. She had trusted him and nearly paid the price. Now they had only one goal left: find her people. Not all of them were gone. Not completely. Lisa had remembered something back. In the vault, a signal buried deep in her mind, a frequency only her kind would recognize. She had sent it out the moment they escaped the bounty ship, and now someone had answered. They arrived at a hidden system, a quiet star surrounded by 3 dead moons. In orbit was a strange silver ship shaped like a spiral. "It's alive," Lisa whispered as she stared at it. Reed blinked. "The ship?" She nodded. "Built by thought. Flies by will. My people called them Skyborn." As they approached, the silver ship opened like a flower. No weapons. No threats, just acceptance. Reed landed the skimmer inside. A group of figures stood waiting, tall, graceful, glowing faintly. One stepped forward. She wore a long robe and a crown made of light. When she saw Lisa, her eyes widened. Then, she bowed. "Princess Lisa Vera, you have returned." Reed froze. "Princess?" Lisa lowered her head. "I didn't remember. Not until now." The woman stepped closer. "You carry the mark of royal blood. And the bond." She turned to Reed. "And you are her protector." Reed blinked. "Wait, what?" "You wear her aura," the woman said. "You carry her light. You stood between her and death." Reed rubbed the back of his neck. "I just didn't want her to be alone." "That is what makes you worthy," the woman said. Later, inside the ship's memory hall, Lisa sat on a throne of crystal light. Her people gathered, some crying softly, others stunned. One elder spoke. "We thought you were lost, taken by the hunters." "I was," Lisa said. "But I survived, and I carry the message." Reed stepped beside her. "The cube was stolen, but the truth is still alive. In her, in all of you." The elder nodded. "Then the final key must be turned." He pointed at Lisa. "You must awaken the star crown." Lisa looked down. "If I do, I become more than a survivor. I become a queen." Reed placed a hand on her shoulder. "What do you want?" She looked up at him. "I want to protect those who can't fight. I want peace. I want freedom." "Then be the queen they need," he said. In the center of the ship was a glowing chamber. Lisa stepped inside. Light wrapped around her like silk. Symbols spun in the air. She reached out, and a crown of stars appeared above her. It lowered onto her head. Her eyes closed. When they opened again, she was no longer hiding. She was whole. Outside the ship, alarms sounded. Enemy ships arriving. Dozens of them, bounty cruisers, council fighters, black flag vessels. They had followed Reed's trail. And now they knew Lisa's truth. Inside the ship, her people prepared to flee, but Lisa stood tall. "No," she said. "We do not run." She stepped to the command panel, glowing brighter than before. Reed watched as the ship responded to her thoughts. Engines activated. Shields rose like walls of light. "Broadcast my voice," she said. The elder pressed a button. Her voice echoed across nearby systems. "I am Lisa Vera, last of the Vera blood, but not the last of my kind. We were hidden. Now we rise. If you believe in freedom, not fear, stand with us. Some ships in the enemy fleet paused. Others powered down their weapons. The truth had reached them. Lisa turned to Reed. "Thank you," she said, "for giving me more than freedom." He smiled. "What did I give you?" She touched his hand. "A reason to fight, and someone worth fighting for." The final fight. The stars above the hidden system were filled with ships, some armed, some waiting, some afraid. Reed Carter stood on the bridge of the silver ship, beside Queen Lisa Vera, the last of her kind. No longer a chained slave. No longer hunted in silence. She was light now, a beacon, but light always drew shadows. The enemy fleet, led by the same council that tried to erase her people, gave one final warning. Surrender the girl, or we burn everything. Lisa didn't flinch. She looked at Reed. They don't understand. I'm not the one they should fear. Reed raised an eyebrow. Then who is? She smiled gently. You. Down in the hangar, Reed suited up. Not in armor, just a reinforced vest and a pulse rifle from the old days. He wasn't a king, not a chosen warrior, just a fighter who once punched aliens for money, but now he had something real to fight for. He boarded a small defender pod ready to defend the Queen's ship from the first wave. Be careful, Lisa said over comms. He smiled. You too, Your Majesty. The enemy came fast. Fighters, drones, missiles. Reed weaved through the chaos, blasting targets, dodging death. Ships exploded in bright fire, but they were outnumbered. Too many, Reed growled. We won't hold. Then, a miracle. Across space, new ships dropped out of hyperspace marked with glowing banners. Resistance, smugglers, forgotten colonies, even old enemies, all answering Lisa's call. Freedom responds, said one voice over the channel. Reed laughed. Guess they heard you. On the Queen's ship, Lisa stepped into the heart chamber. She touched the walls, and energy flowed through her body. Prepare the star pulse, she said, a powerful wave of light hidden in the ship's core, capable of disabling enemy tech without killing. Let them see, she whispered, what power can look like when used to protect. Reed's pod was hit. He spun out, crashing into a drift cloud. Alarms blared, he coughed, pulled himself out of the seat. Smoke everywhere. Then a shadow, Torvek's ship. The old fight master had joined the battle, not for money, but for control. Carter, Torvek's voice growled. Still running with that girl? You could have been rich. Instead, you'll be nothing. Reed raised his weapon. I'd rather be nothing than sell someone like her again. Torvek laughed. You think love can save her? Reed fired. No, but it saves me. Suddenly a flash of white covered the battlefield. The star pulse activated. Enemy ships lost power. Torvek's weapons shut down. The Queen's ship rose above all, glowing like a second sun. Lisa's voice echoed across every speaker, every ship. This is not the end. It is the beginning. For those who were silenced, for those who were chained. We rise now, together. Ships surrendered, others fled. Torvek escaped, but barely. The battle was over. Without mass death. Without another war, because one girl chose light instead of vengeance. Later, Reed awoke in the med bay, bruised but alive. Lisa sat beside him. You didn't listen, she teased. I rarely do. He grinned. She took his hand. You saved me when I was just a number, a thing. You didn't have to. Reed looked into her eyes. You weren't a thing. You were... you. And what am I now? She asked. He smiled. Queen, friend, fighter, hope. She leaned closer. And what are you? He chuckled. Just a guy who fought for cash and found something priceless. Outside, the galaxy watched a new story unfold. A human and an alien. A fighter and a forgotten queen. And two souls who rewrote history. Not with weapons, but with trust.